Hey guys, Ryan Martian here, and today I want to discuss the difference between a weak and a solid cliffhanger in television with two recent season finales for comparison. I'm going to use the season 6 finale of The Walking Dead and the season 2 finale of Better Call Saul as the specific examples. As always, there are major spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen either of these finales, you have been warned. If you guys haven't watched my series of brief recaps on the second half of season 6 of The Walking Dead, I'll quickly fill you in. I thought it was terrible. There was so much wrong with each episode, I could only muster approximately 30 seconds of speech before my brain would implode upon itself. My recaps, and I use that term very loosely, were largely sarcastic as I really only pointed out 3 to 4 ridiculous aspects from each episode. The worst of them all was easily the season finale, where I gathered up the courage to go on for a full 210 seconds. One of the main reasons why I felt the need to do the recaps in the first place was because we were promised the arrival of Negan right after a mid-season finale. Now, I knew he wouldn't arrive within an episode or two, but the fact that we had to wait until the last 10 minutes of the entire season was the definition of a cock tease, if you will. Add in the various statements from the cast about the finale, and it becomes even more unforgivable. The worst offender was Andrew Lincoln, who said, "We just wrapped 24 hours ago on what I think is the darkest and most extraordinary season finale that we've ever attempted. To say that I'm excited would be a vast understatement, and it ends with a very big bang." Did it though? Was seeing, or should I say not seeing, Negan, after giving a painfully long monologue, smash someone in the face with his bat before the screen cut to black, a very big bang? No, it was not. In fact, it's arguably the new standard. It was already the cheapest and sloppiest storytelling device ever utilized. The aforementioned cut to black. There is nothing intelligent about the season finale, and the cliffhanger is practically mocking, or dare I say even trolling the audience by saying, "Hehehe. We got you good, didn't we? You waited 6 months for this. Now you have to wait 6 more. Throughout the entire episode, and practically the entire season, it was made perfectly clear that someone important in Rick's group was going to die. Then when the moment finally arrives, we didn't actually see who it was. The entire second half of the season completely trampled on one of our most basic human virtues, patience. And then the finale spit on us while we were already bleeding out on the sidewalk. Now some of you might be saying, well, are you going to watch the season 7 premiere to find out who died? Yeah, I'll probably watch it. Those same people might retort, then the showrunners did their job, didn't they? Well, just like a drug dealer gets a person addicted to their illicit product, I suppose the showrunners of The Walking Dead did their job. That doesn't necessarily mean it was laudable or even a good job. The only thing the showrunners gave the audience to discuss in between seasons is who died. It's cheap, it's dumb, and it painfully shows how little they think of their audience. Now onto the flip side of the coin with the season 2 finale of Better Call Saul. I have to say right from the beginning that this is a slightly different animal, so to speak. It's a prequel series, and we already know that the two main characters survive in order to appear on Breaking Bad. That being said, what was accomplished during this episode should be shown on repeat to everyone involved with The Walking Dead, because they could learn a thing or 1,000. Throughout the first 2 seasons, we gradually see the character of Mike return to what he knows and does best. Take care of the dirty work in a thorough, well thought out, and intelligent manner. After attempting to play it clean and live a mostly honest life after the fiasco in Philadelphia, he, along with the help of Jimmy, starts picking up contracts on the side. He draws a line at murder, but it soon becomes clear that it may be the only option when it comes to taking care of the Nacho and Hector Salamanca situation he got himself into. As I was watching the episode, I thought to myself, so this is how Hector ended up in the wheelchair. It also explains why Nacho doesn't appear in Breaking Bad. But just as Mike is about to pull the trigger on a sniper rifle, he hears a car horn blaring from the distance. Mike is taken completely off guard. This is a man who almost overthinks every possible scenario in order to make sure absolutely nothing goes wrong. When he realizes it's his own car and notices somebody wedged a tree limb in between the seat and the horn, and then sees a handwritten note that simply says, "Don't," Mike, and at the same time the audience, is given a mystery to solve. Who was watching Mike this entire time? How did this person know he would be there? How long has he been following Mike? How much does this person know? Finally, and most importantly, why did this person wait until the driver was killed to make his presence known? At the same time, we also have the relative conclusion to Jimmy and Chuck's bickering about the Mesa Verde debacle. Chuck was right all along, just as he believed he was. He also proved that, not only is he a better lawyer than Jimmy, he is also capable of a little deception and trickery himself. Earlier in the episode, he mustered up the strength to go into his garage and retrieve a voice recorder. Now, it's important to note that we didn't see what it was right at that moment, but it is revealed perfectly to the audience right before the closing credits. As crazy as Chuck might be, he knew Jimmy's love for his brother would eventually get the best of Jimmy, and Chuck used his ailment as a way to get Jimmy to confess. Even though Jimmy said, "No one will believe you, but if it makes you feel better, yeah, I did it." It's now all there on tape. As a result, the audience also has the following mystery to solve. What will Chuck do with the recording? Jimmy is still a lawyer in Breaking Bad, so he obviously wasn't disbarred. Will Chuck use it as a sort of rainy day / get out of jail card and hold it over Jimmy's head? These questions, along with the questions about the mystery man who thwarted Mike's hit, are significantly more intelligent than simply who died. It also shows that our two main protagonists, who may have thought a little too highly of their abilities, were both one-upped by someone else in the same exact episode. I can't speak for everyone, but the finale of Better Call Saul accomplished so much more than the finale of The Walking Dead in plot, writing, structure, and its use of the cliffhanger device, and therefore I am looking far more forward to the season premiere of the former rather than the latter. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit the like button or subscribe. Thanks again.